Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and our Simple Abundance year as we follow along with Sarah Ban Breathnach's book, Simple Abundance. It is May 2020. We are about a quarter of the way, a little more than that, on our journey through the year. It's a 365-day journey to a more joyful and balanced life. And right now we are exploring the joys and harmony, right, of our homes. We've been talking about it from so many different angles, right? And today I want to cover a couple of entries from the last couple of days. First being the May 10th entry called The Personality of Your Home. That's something to think about, right? Sometimes we're not even aware of what the personality of our home is, unless we had people come in and tell us what they were thinking. Like, we might be really self-critical or really focused on the things that we don't like or that we want to change. And then somebody might come in and be like, no, this is so charming and I can see your personality here and there. And yeah. So I wonder, give some thought to the personality of your home. I wonder if you would have a word or a description for the personality of your home. I haven't really thought about that for myself. I think I would just probably say Carolyn, because every little area is so me. So the personality is just me, I think. I certainly would think that people coming in would find, maybe they'd use the word charming. They would find it charming. Hopefully they would find it comfortable and neat and tasteful. Yeah, playful in some respects. I have some fun things around. So, well, she does also say a couple things in this entry about the fact that there might be a little bit of you inside that is saying, like, if I only had the money, I would do such and such in my house. But that's only a barrier that you're giving yourself. There are definitely things that you can do with little money, and you might know of somebody who's moving and wants to unload new curtains or just new to you curtains, things like that. She tells us, while money certainly helps us express ourselves through our surroundings, creating a warm, inviting home that reflects our own personality doesn't have to begin with clicking the buy buttons for online shopping. If you must, add your, quote, can't live without item into your basket and then take a walk around the block. Clean off a kitchen counter or throw a load of wash into the machine. Sleep on it. Give yourself a timeout between seeing, clicking, and buying. This is how we build personal boundaries that sustain and protect us. I definitely agree with that. We're going to be talking in the future about some budgeting things, and I have gotten into the habit of really being more conscious about decisions that I make as far as what I want to spend the money that I have set aside for myself as spending money. So I don't just immediately buy something unless I'm in a situation like if I'm on a trip or something and I will never see the item again. But if it's something I see at a store, then I will write it down and I may have to save up for it. You know, I'm gotten rid of the impulsive decisions, so I can appreciate what she's saying. She goes on to say, today, no matter where or how you live, look upon your home through the eyes of love. Walk around the rooms and offer thanks for the walls and roof that safely enclose you and yours. Pause for a moment to consider all the women who have lost their homes through death, divorce, debt, or natural disaster today. Be grateful for the home you have and knowing that at this moment, all you have is all you truly need. That's a really important message for our times. I obviously have been seeing things on the news, and I know that there are people that are in pretty dire situations right now, and I'm not in a perfect situation myself either. I have plenty of issues with this whole pandemic that's happened and how it's affected me personally and financially. But I do know that I have a home. I have a home still. And that's a great reminder to go around and just be thankful for, thank you wall, thank you ceiling, thanking everything. It's more of that gratitude we talked about. That also made me think, and I grabbed it off the wall in preparation to talk to you guys. See this here? This is a Cherokee blessing that I have on the wall. I've mentioned to you guys before that I really feel drawn to the native cultures. So there's a dream catcher on it, and it says, "May the warm winds of heaven blow softly upon your house. May the Great Spirit bless all who enter here. May your moccasins make happy tracks in many snows, and may the rainbow always touch your shoulder." So that's like my little home blessing that I have in the house. Wonder if you have anything like that. Or do you have any prayers that you say to thank your home? Hope you'll share in the comments. On May 11th, we have an entry called Eminent Domain. Whose home is it anyway? That's a good question, right? We did talk about if you have a significant other you live with or a roommate, that it can sometimes be a compromise and an experience of like, I don't really like that, you know. But, you know, I've been thinking about that and how I was saying that I felt bad for you if you were watching and you felt like you couldn't have that honest conversation with the person you live with. I hope that you can. I hope, and you know what? It might be just like that story with the lamps that Sarah shared about how she just got so mad and wanted to throw them out, and then her husband at the time, he couldn't have cared less. So maybe you might even find that. And you know what? Blame it on my channel. Say, hey, I've been following this YouTube channel and I feel really inspired. We were talking about feng shui and colors and the senses and making the house our own. And I don't want anybody coming for me, but I don't know. I'm just trying to think of some way for you to bring it up in conversation, because maybe it's going to be like that, where the person is like, hey, do whatever you want. It sounds great. Can I help you? You know, no, I got this. And then they might end up loving it. You never know. They might not have as much care or control over it as you think you do. And this whole eminent domain, she talks about how it is sort of like you have to give a nod to the people that you live with and realize that that's part of what a home is, right? It's family and it's the people that are there. Or the kitty that's there. I said in one of the comments too, the first rule of decorating, this is me saying this, not any sort of decorating book, but the first rule of decorating and reconstruction projects is always that the cat comes first. And it's funny, I'm looking at Annabelle, she's sleeping on the couch right now. She matches so perfectly with my couch and my pillows and everything. It's almost like I did decorate around here, but that just happened. And she's got so many beautiful colors in her as a calico, so I'm sort of lucky like that. Oh, let's see. What do you want to know in this one? Recognizing and acknowledging the needs of those you live with as well as your own is the first step towards making everybody's habitat happy and harmonious, the way a home is meant to be. That's true. You want it to be happy and harmonious for sure. She also goes on to say, don't be discouraged by practical considerations. Even if right now you might not be free to truly express yourself through your surroundings, begin to work with instead of fighting against your limitations. Never forget that your life and decorating styles are works of art in progress and will be for all your happy days. What do you think about that? Do you think about decorating as a work of art? Maybe I do because I love it so much, but I haven't really thought about it that way. Maybe I'm an artist in that respect. And then also, I like how she just said that it's a work in progress. It's an ever-evolving thing. You might get a room set together in one way and then you change your mind. You know what I just realized I forgot to say to you guys too? I am sitting in a chair that doesn't normally get sat in because of that feng shui video, where that was one of the tips, was to make sure that you're using all chairs, even if it's not one that you normally sit in. So that's why I'm sitting. I moved it into another place so that I could be where the light is still from the window. So I'm getting a lot out of the videos too. So I can tell Annabelle, I was following a YouTube channel and now I want to do this. She lets me do whatever I want. And then today's entry, May 12th, is called A Life of One's Own. And I've already read this one, and it is mostly a story from a novel, but it has you pause and think, what would it mean to have a place of your own, like this life of your own, like, and be able to choose all the wallpaper and everything down to the dishes and everything. Like, imagine starting fresh. What does that look like? It's another journal thing to think about, right? Makes me think about, did you guys ever see that movie Miss Potter, about Beatrix Potter? It's got Renee Zellweger in it. It's a neat story. She's the artist that drew Peter Rabbit and had those successful books. There's another character, a goose. There's a bunch of characters I've forgotten, but most well known is Peter Rabbit. But the movie's worth watching. Later in her life, she realizes though that she's actually very rich. Like, she hadn't even really known how well the books had done. And so she went off and bought a little cottage on a farm and set up the life that she wanted to, which was actually really unheard of at the time, because this was back when your life was so joined with a man and whatever his decisions were. So circumstances had worked out such that later in her life she was able to do that and was really happy in the country setting like that, and it all worked out for her in the end. It's a cute movie. Interesting story, because sometimes you don't know what's in the backstory of some of the authors and writers and artists of books. So maybe check that out. But anyway, I was thinking about how this sort of idea of like setting up a cottage from scratch, because that's what the character in the novel does. So anyway, lots to think about. Personality of your home, eminent domain. We're going to be getting into some other entries about the order of the home. Just a warning, that one's coming up in a couple days. Organizing tasks and what she calls home caring. And then later in the month, this whole month pretty much has some sort of a house flavor to it, or home flavor to it. We'll also consider what charm in a home means, and talk a bit more about the sacred in spaces. There's so much to be said about the home. And as I've said, my opinion is that this seems to be Sarah's forte. In fact, it sounds like she also wrote some books about decorating as well. So no wonder. This is her whole area. So she's really got a lot to say during this home section of the book. Thank you so much for being here. If you haven't yet, I hope you will subscribe. You can hit the bell icon too, so you'll get an email whenever I post. Seems like there's been a lot to say lately, so I have been posting really regularly. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate all your likes, and your comments are so fun to read. And we are continuing on. Sarah's Principles: joy, harmony, beauty, order, simplicity, and gratitude. So tune in, there's so much more for our journey. Sending you all lots of love, and I'll see you next time.